Okay, jumping on here. Um, Wanted to kind of just give an update on my kit right here in 2025, midway through 2025. Interesting point because there's a couple of big cameras that are expected to come out, but for the first time in a couple of years, I'm really kind of okay where I'm at. I don't really have a whole lot of followers, but if you have been following me, I was a long time Sony shooter when I first started getting into mirrorless. Originally, I was shooting ever since I was a teenager with 35 millimeter film cameras, and kind of didn't really pick up on the whole DSLR thing. I just didn't really care too much, or kind of busy with doing other things. Wasn't really into the DSLR bodies. And then things when they started getting smaller again, I got into mirrorless and I started shooting with Sony and loved it. I love Sony cameras. They're great. Um, and Ever since then, I started to kind of desire a change. And for the past, I would say 2 or 3 years, ever since I started kind of diving in with the Q system and kind of going down the Leica world. I dabbled a little bit with Canon, pairing that up with my Leica gear when I had the SL2S, and now I think things have calmed down for me at least. Now, again, this is for me. Give you guys background. Based in California, a commercial photographer, primarily doing portraits. And then for my own personal work, I have some projects that I do that are mainly landscape based or kind of like beach, I wouldn't say street, but more like casual editorial kind of projects that I'm also involved in. So that's the genre I'm kind of dealing with. Whatever sports I do is pretty much just going to be purely for myself or for my family, purely for fun. So not doing any professional sports photography at this point. Would love to, but not doing that right now. So I just wanted to kind of give a real kind of brief picture of what my kit is. All of it is right here on this table, including the camera that I'm filming with, which is the Leica SL3S with the Leica 28 to 70 2.8 standard zoom. Um, really love that the form factor of this lens. I had it on the SL2S when it was the Sigma version. This version, honestly, even immediately, I do see a little bit of difference when I was going back on some of the older shots with the SL2S and the Sigma version and this one. The coatings, the flare control, the colors, the little bit less. I don't really, I haven't noticed any chromatic aberration, but at the same time, I haven't shot with this all that long. It's only been probably a month and a half, 2 months. But when this one came out and at the price point, I'm like, I'm paying more than Sigma. I just did it. So that's kind of like my go-to minimalist video slash photo hybrid workhorse right here. Is a Leica SL3S with the Leica 28 to 70. Um, I do really like this lens. I like having smaller gear, so that's why I choose that over the 24 to 70 or the 24 to 90. One of these days I would like to try that one, but I have a feeling it'd probably be a little too big for me. Okay, so that's my one main camera. That's what I'm shooting with right there for video. Most all video is done with that, and photo because I love the what the colors on that 24 megapixel camera. Plus, with that new autofocus on this camera, it's my workhorse. 30 frames per second with autofocus. It does everything I need it to do. Okay, I could live off of just that. But then, in addition, I have my Leica Q3 43. Now, I had a Q2, sold that, regretted it. Biggest regret, I did get an M11 when I sold that. Kind of went down that road. I love the M11, but for where I'm at in my life, the Qs in terms of an everyday carry, it just works better for me. And when I had the Q328, I knew what I was shooting. I had that for at least a year. I traveled with it. I use it as my everyday carry. I love that camera. But when the 43 came out, I took a look. I already knew what I was doing and how I was viewing things through the camera. And 28 for me, again, everyone's different. 28 for me was just a little too wide. And the fact that I could go ahead and get a 43 and not have to sacrifice on that resolution and even go a little farther out and still get more megapixels, to me, I was sold. I dove in, no hesitations, put my name down for the pre-order the minute I saw those things come out, got one right away, and I've had it and I've loved it ever since. Okay, this is my everyday carry. This is my go-to, my companion, my my talisman, to quote another YouTuber. Uh, so that's my companion camera right here. I love this camera. Another one here I'm using to kind of prop up my phone. Probably should have mentioned this before I mention that. This is the only other lens I have right now for the Leica SL3S, and it is a Sigma Contemporary 35. Really have tried over the last couple of years to keep things really minimalist, and I've had some Apple lenses, and they're amazing. But I once I got this, the Q343, and it has the Apo in it paired to the 60 megapixel sensor, um, I just found I wasn't using the 50 millimeter Apo that I had on the SL3S, even though I got that for a really great deal. I kind of struggled a long time with it. Um, I'm happy with it. Getting the 28 to 7 autofocus, these almost feel like native lenses, and I feel like they just work better than they did on the prior bodies. I don't know if it's software or firmware or whatnot, but love those. So again, that takes care of my whole Leica kit as of now. Okay. The only other cameras I have, again, with the exception of like I have like a Insta360 3GS, is this, which is relatively new addition in terms of camera bodies. This is the Hasselblad X2D, and right now I have on it the 28p. Little story about this. I bought this used. Okay, so I bought this used. I bought a 38V used, 55 used, and I ended up selling the 38, selling it back. Actually, because it was used, I was able to go ahead and great camera store, Allen's Camera, actually, I've been using. I went ahead and returned it and got the 28p instead. Okay, so, and the 38 just wasn't wide enough. It wasn't really giving me, I already love the 55. I love the focal length on this. This is like probably my most used lens on this for just normal standard portraits. Between tighter 3/4 body, full body shots, this 55 is kind of like my bread and butter on this camera. Also kind of gives me the same perspective that I know I love on the Leica Q343. The 28 gave me a little something, a little bit more variety, something a little bit more different than the 38. The 38 which just wasn't quite wide enough for me, and this I feel is perfect. Maybe if I go deeper, I'll go ahead and end up getting the 25. I would like that, but it's just not in the budget right now. Maybe someday, but I don't know whether I'd ever get rid of this because this thing is just so tiny and so compact. So it's so easy always to have this with me. And if I need a wide, I could just pull it out and it's always in there. I can always stick it on the side of a sling or whatnot. So I don't know. I'm happy with this right now. We'll see. And then, of course, this is the 90V. And this is an amazing lens. As an aside, the 90V, I can go up to 1/4000th of a second. With the 28p, I can go 1/4000th of a second. And with the 55, I can only go 1/2000th of a second. So I do have, this is 72 millimeter, this is 72 millimeter, and yeah, this is 72 millimeter as well. But with the 4,000th of a second, I haven't really needed to use ND filters. I will if I'm doing slower shutter speeds on this 28, but I do have a 72 millimeter 8-stop ND, which I use for this 55 if I want to do really slow shutter speeds or just really have a shallow depth of field with the burning sun, and that's plenty. That's plenty of ND. So um, yeah, that's my kit right here. I'm really happy with this kit. Again, this is definitely a weird kind of kit. Um, it's not for everyone. It works for me. For me, I've got my high resolution camera, my landscape camera, my studio camera, and when I'm doing portraits, whether I'm in studio or out, I'm bringing this and I'm bringing the SL3S. And I have the zoom on there so that way I can quickly go from video, shoot at 28, 35, crop in, because I do get a little bit of a crop over here on the 4K 60, and then go ahead and jump right back in without having to change lenses into doing standard 50, 70 millimeter portraits, which is probably my most used focal lengths for portraits. And I do enjoy doing like a 28 or a 35 millimeter to get a little bit more wider shots, more environmental shots, especially at the beach or in some of the locations out here in the desert in California. So those are probably my go-to. This again is my everyday camera. If I can, if I have a big enough kit, I'm almost always bringing this along with me anyway, even if I have these two. Sometimes I'm not. Um, and the 35 really, it's my way of kind of using the SL3S as my low light beast for kind of indoor stuff. Um, Maybe at some point I wouldn't mind getting a Q2 monochrome for indoor stuff and having that 28. I think that would be kind of a killer combo, especially for travels, having a Q343 and a a Q2 monochrome. Um, that'd be perfect just to have these two. Um, yeah, this just kind of works for me. Yeah, I've gone down the M route. I'm a Q guy. As romantic and as beautiful as those M cameras are, and even as rumors are coming out about the EVF on the new M, that maybe may sway me right now. Not a whole lot of money left over right now. No budget for me to kind of get that camera. That would be just purely just luxury splurge, and that's not kind of where I'm at right now. So I feel like I've got my bases covered with this kit. It's been a while. I feel like I've bounced around quite a bit. I've shuffled quite a bit. One of the reasons why I want to do this video and why I know like I'm feeling really at a happy place is for the past 2.5, maybe 3 years, I'm not sure. Every time there's been like a KEH event at my local shop over in Sammy's, I have taken the opportunity to make an appointment and and I've shuffled things around and I've gotten a little closer and I've tweaked this and tweaked that. And a lot of it is cameras have changed. You know, like I feel like this SL3S has allowed me to kind of, with my primary cameras, to stay within the Leica ecosystem, which I think I always wanted to do once I got down that rabbit hole with the Q system. I just love the user interface. I love how easy the app is to download images. I love how it tethers so easily, whether it's in studio or just just showing other pictures to family. I just love it. I love the colors. I love the image quality. So I'm really happy with my kit. These are not the fastest cameras, but at this point, I don't miss the shots with this SL3S, and that's I think's been a real kind of game changer for me. Um, I was looking at these X2D cameras before, and I wasn't really a big fan. Now with these new lenses, with these the newer the 55, the 90, these XCD lenses, I love this kit and it kind of fits within my desire to have a smaller kit because I could take one sling and fit this 28, 55, and 90. And because you have 100 megapixels in here, This is pretty much the same. This is a small 70 to 200 because I can still crop in the 200 and zoom in manually and get the shot. And I've done that. I actually took this for my son's graduation, and we were all far up into the bleachers, and I got some really tight shots of him and his friends all the way down, walking up into the to get their diploma. So uh, it works, and that's where I'm at. I just don't over the years, I just found I don't like lugging around big lenses. Um, so with the Leica gear, I'm happy that they're coming out, even though they are kind of rebadged lenses. I like the smaller lenses. I like using the Sigma lenses on this. So I don't know, I'm kind of rambling right now, but uh, I like my kit. I like my kit. I feel like I have all of my bases covered. If there's one thing, maybe two things I feel is kind of, you know what? No, only one thing I feel is missing. Um, I think that a 100 to 400, that Leica 100 to 400, I think I may add that just to give me that really far off range. And I think I'll wait till I kind of do a trip in which I think that will really come in handy. I don't really have anything planned at the moment, but but if I have anything, I think that's where I'd probably want to go. Um, yeah, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So yeah. All right. I could go on tangents and some more about what I'm going to do with the possible new M that's coming out with the EVF, which, yes, blasphemy. I'm sorry, but I'm excited about. If they have like a flip out screen or tilting screen, not flip out, tilting screen with that, that would be even amazing. It could pretty much have like an interchangeable lens Q. That would be sweet, but yeah, blasphemy, but I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm excited for the possibilities of that. And yeah, I'm also excited about the new XCD. Don't know if these pictures are real, but I saw some pictures that showed an actual like 5D button, which I actually Googled that. And apparently that's DJI's kind of version of a little joystick um, with another customizable button down below here. Um, the question mark with that is I'm hearing rumors that it may be using LiDAR. I don't know. I don't know how good that would focus. You don't have continuous on this, but it locks on pretty good. And when it's in focus, it's sharp. So I don't know. We'll see. But right now I'm good. So yeah, really happy with my kit. First time in a long time where I went to make the appointment and I canceled it because I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. And there's honestly nothing I don't use and nothing I wouldn't miss if I sold it. And made enough mistakes. I know I don't want to sell anything that I'm going to regret anymore, especially these days because if I want to buy it back, it's going to be more expensive. So, and that's probably another contributing factor. Things are more expensive now. So don't really want to buy anything new right now. Um, so yeah, that's it. Hopefully this is helpful. Maybe you could take something from it, from certain aspects of it. But yeah, really happy with my kit and hope this was somewhat beneficial. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.